Hello everyone, welcome into today's webinar. So the topic that I'm going to be covering today is simplifying compliance with smarter log management. So to introduce myself, my name is Greg Collins and I'm the Senior Product Marketing Manager for Progress's What's Up Gold. I have a few special guests on the line with me today. I have Ekaterina Boniva, who is a Senior Sales Engineer. Ekaterina will be helping out with the demo portion of the presentation, so showing you all the ins and outs of the log management functionality. And then I also have Theodore Herrera, who's a Senior Technical Support Engineer here at What's Up Gold. And Theodore will be helping out later on in the Q&A section, answering any questions that you may have. So before we start, I just want to give an overview of some quick webinar housekeeping. If you can't hear us, try connecting to computer audio, not phone audio. If you have any questions, please submit them in the questions panel on the right-hand side of your screen. We do have some time allotted at the end to answer any and all questions. And then finally, this session will be recorded and distributed after, so there's no need to record it yourself. So with that out of the way, I'll kick off today's session with a brief rundown of the agenda. So I'll be giving an overview of what log management is as a concept, why it's important or why you should care about it. And then I'll give you a quick introduction to What's Up Gold's log management functionality, going over the benefits, how it's licensed, etc. I'm going to keep that fairly brief, as I'll then be passing the floor across to my colleague Ekaterina, who'll give a demonstration of the log management feature, followed by a Q&A session which is taken by Theodore. So to start, just a quick overview. I'm going to be talking about the basics of log management, which is one of the advanced features within What's Up Gold. So before I get started, I want to address one of the most common questions we get in the Q&A section when it comes to showcasing these advanced features. And that question is, how do I get log management? So this depends on the type of What's Up Gold license that you have. So for those of you who have a subscription, the log management feature is included in the Enterprise and Enterprise Plus tiers. And for those with a perpetual license, you can also add on the log management functionality. So I'm guessing that you're in here for one of several reasons. So firstly, this could be that you don't use What's Up Gold, but you want to know more about it. Secondly, it could be that you do use What's Up Gold, but you either don't own or haven't yet deployed the log management functionality. Or finally, you may have something particular that you'd like to know about this tool and plan to ask that in the Q&A session at the end. So no matter your level of interest, that's all good. Between myself, Ekaterina and Theodore, we'll make sure that you understand the benefits and use cases for the What's Up Gold log management functionality. Just to note before I move on, I've recently done webinars on the Configuration Management and Network Traffic Analysis Plus or NTA Plus functionality. So if you're interested in viewing them, you can find these under the Resources tab on whatsupgold.com. So I'm going to start the next section of the webinar on a negative note. I want to talk about a really bad day in the life of a systems administrator. I'm not a systems administrator myself, but from speaking to them on an ongoing basis, I can definitely recognize what a really bad day in the life is. There are many different ways that your day can be ruined as a systems administrator. So first up, maybe somebody has made unauthorized changes to your Active Directory policies or your ACLs. This could involve some intellectual property or some sensitive data. Someone could have gained unauthorized access to data that's protected by HIPAA, for example. An internal or external bad actor could be trying to hack your systems. Or maybe somebody even just stopped by your desk or your compliance officer calls you up and says, hey, I need this report. And you realize it's a heavy manual report that's going to take a long time to generate. These are all scenarios that nobody wants to have to deal with. And fortunately, just about anything in your IT environment has some kind of log. That's what the premise of this webinar is all about, because a really bad day doesn't have to be a really bad day when it comes to log management. Log files contain a wealth of information to help reduce your organization's exposure to intruders, malware, damage, loss, or even legal liabilities. So a log contains detailed records of everything that's happened, including user actions. The two types of logs that we talk about are Microsoft systems that generate Windows event log files, whereas Unix-based servers and devices use system logs or Syslog standard. Every single day, your servers and other network devices produce tens of thousands of log entries. In fact, the average enterprise can accumulate up to 4 gigabytes of log data every single day. So with so much data, the question is, how do you actually go about sorting it? Well, your log data needs to be stored, collected, analyzed, and monitored, especially for regulatory compliance like HIPAA, PCI DSS, and so on. The challenge is that log files come from many different sources in different formats, as well as in massive volumes. The question then is whether your organization has a proper centralized log management strategy in place to monitor and secure your network. Because you're attending this webinar, you're likely looking to build one yourself. So now that I've explained what logs are, let's move on and talk about the need for log management tools. One thing to consider is the type of log manager you want to use with WhatsUp Gold, whether that be external or internal. So we can review both options. The first option is a log management tool outside of WhatsUp Gold. Now that is certainly possible, some people do it, but there are some downsides that I just want to call out. It's inefficient when you're using multiple tools. Everyone is always complaining about the tool sprawl, which can be an issue. It can also be expensive to have licenses for many different tools. Things like SIM tools are very complex and maybe not exactly what you need to look at your network log management data. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, maybe it can be too simple. Perhaps it won't allow you to get granular or drill down enough into the data that you actually need to review. And then finally, it might not be well designed for network info itself, and it just relies on agents to collect that data. This can be hard to implement in some situations. Of course, we see the positive side of using the log management functionality within WhatsUp Gold. First up, it's convenient and well integrated. There's a positive ROI there, as you've already invested in WhatsUp Gold, and the functionality provides a lot of value in terms of what you can review and what you can learn about your own particular network. It also has a lot of great filters and ways to focus on only what you need to know. If you've got gigabytes and gigabytes of data, you need to be able to have that level of focus. You can also set up alerts that are triggered once thresholds are actually passed. And then finally, just like WhatsUp Gold itself, it is very customizable. You can customize dashboards and reports. There's also an archiving feature for dealing with compliance and regulatory issues. And this is incredibly important and is built into the log management functionality itself. Now, let's discuss some of the basics. As I mentioned, it's integrated into the WhatsUp Gold interface. I spoke about the syslog and Windows event logs earlier on. It can ingest those in any device you configure as a log data source. There's extensive pre and post filtering capabilities, so you can configure log searches based on specific parameters like machine name, IP, log type, dates, and more. You can save those searches and even export those results automatically or on demand as well. There's the ability to get alerts via email when log status or event trigger conditions or thresholds you've set are met. And then all the things that you love about WhatsUp Gold itself is included, like the mapping, dashboarding, or alerting capabilities. All of the features you can use out of the box can be used to manage your logs and learn from them. Next up, I want to talk about the log management settings. So log management utilizes an Elasticsearch instance. So when you set that up to store your log information, there are all sorts of settings there. Just quickly running through a couple on the list. You can set the log data retention period. You may want to retain that data for a month or a year. You can do this within the WhatsUp Gold functionality. And there also is a forever setting that you can use in case you need that. There may be some specific server settings you need to set for Syslog. You can control all of that specific data sources on your particular logs. Just a reminder that if you have any questions about the settings and how granular you can get, please put them in the question box and Theodore can answer them in the Q&A section at the end. There are many ways to view your logs, just like you would use WhatsUp Gold for other tasks. Of course, there's a dashboard to allow you to visualize the log activity. There's different areas that you can configure to give you different information. If you want to know your log manager server status, for example, or if you want to see how is Elasticsearch doing, things like operational metrics and log source statistics. There are some areas where you can define top 10, for example, so for certain kind of devices and events. On those, there is the ability to drill down as well. So by double clicking, you can get right into the device and the log that you need to see. There's also a log view that has a full page report. This will give you all the information that you want. You can either use the pre-built from our library of filters, or you can define your own custom filter for that. Device cards also allow you to drill down and access the recent logs section indicator, so that can give you the current log status. The alert section is one of the many ways you can view your own particular logs. And finally, the global search feature, which can be configured to look at the log data. Next, I want to quickly talk about log management archiving. This is really the second part of it. If you have to comply with regulatory requirements and preserve historic data, and you don't want it to have a huge impact on your WhatsUp Gold performance, then the log management tool can allow you to archive data in a really easy and intuitive manner directly within the interface. It enables an easier management of system parameters, so storage resource constraints. You can also configure the retention periods that you want for this data. So you may want to align it with the regulations required. It offers configurability for filters. So if you're looking at subsets of log message data, you have the control to search, restore, and or purge this archived data. And it also allows you to search within the archived datasets. Before I hand it over to Katerina for the demo, I want to mention some additional resources for WhatsUp Gold. We do have extensive product documentation, blogs, and ebooks on log management that can be found in the resources tab on whatsupgold.com. We also have a very active YouTube channel. If you search WhatsUp Gold, you'll see a lot of videos we have on log management and Elasticsearch. And then finally, just a reminder that you can request a one-to-one demo from one of our sales team after the webinar. And with that, I'll hand it across to Katerina for the demo.
Thank you, Greg. So today we are going to talk about WhatsUp Gold log management, which is part of the WhatsUp Gold add-ons. It builds on top of the infrastructure monitoring another capability, extending the WhatsUp Gold capabilities to monitor the devices. Usually what happens to the day-to-day network admin job is that you for certain you will need to check logs, to analyze them, just to check them, or also to be alerted on them, to search through logs. What the problem with the logs is the quantity. So really a huge amount of quantity is generated from any device. What WhatsUp Gold can do is add additional functionality through collecting the logs. So we here for sys and event logs, and we store those logs into Elasticsearch database. So the log management comes with this possibility to set the Elasticsearch database, also to select the retention time. So that's totally configurable. So not only from the admin perspective, but also from the compliance perspective, you can set up the retention type, and then you can specify the syslog server. From here, the devices are already within WhatsUp Gold interface, and you just need to go and select your log sources. So for me, if I go and pick up log data source setup, and this can be found under settings, log management, log data source setup, I can easily see, because WhatsUp Gold automatically will give me a list of devices which are Windows event log capable. So that means that I just need to select what type of logging I want to feed WhatsUp Gold with. So it will show me, as you can see, also the number of logs for those devices. So if I pick up any device, that means that I will go here and select what type also of logs I want to feed WhatsUp Gold with. You can see the standard logs, which are the application, the security, and the system, and then you can specify to the ingestion filter criteria which type of critical and error, or all of them, so critical, error, and warning, you want to collect. Or you can select specific logs. So that means that you will be prompted with a list of specific logs for which you can for which WhatsUp Gold will monitor, and then you can just specify same which level of logging you are interested in having into the dashboard and also into the log viewer. So same is also for the syslog. When I go and add my syslog source, WhatsUp Gold will show me a list of all the eligible devices. The list can be found here. So once I choose my device and I select it, you will see the device logging information, and then what type of severity, what level of severity log I want to be notified and I want to monitor for. You can create different ingestion filters. You can use the built-in ones, or you can create your own. So once you've added your log sources, they are already within the WhatsUp Gold log management dashboard, and also they are within WhatsUp Gold log management viewer, which are two different options in which you can view the information. If you need to search through the logs, the log viewer is one option. If you need really to fast and easy see which are the logs and what severity level of logs you have for a certain device, as you can see here on the right side, that's easily accessible. I'm picking up this server for which we have Windows event logging, and then on the bottom we recently added recent logs, so that means the number of logs and the severity level. It will show me if I have a critical or error logging, it will show me the warning, and then I have an information logs. Pressing on any one of those, whichever, it will take me to the log viewer. For that precise server, it will give me the time frame, which is available all the time, so I can change also the time frame for which I want to check those, and you will see displayed here on top the filter which is applied for that precise logging. I can also use the search box, so if I want additional fine-tuning of this criteria, I will just hit here and set, let's say, for example, privilege, and that means that WhatsUp Gold will pull out only the logs that match my criteria. So you can go and check furthermore through them. That's something that's available directly on a device level for any device, which is log source from within WhatsUp Gold. So just selecting the device, right side, and you can directly access this information from the brief device card. This will open the log viewer like this, using the time filter, using the search criteria, and then also you can change the filter from here. So you can use the saved filters, which part of those are built-in filters. You can create a new filter or just edit some of the existing ones. So if you need to do something fast and to go through the logs fast, that's easily doable like this. There's another option to analyze the logs. So if you are in the full log viewer mode, that means that you are checking the logs for all the specified devices, and you can same use the search criteria here. So it will be computer, for example, as a word, and WhatsUp Gold will pull out any log which has this, or it can be an IP address of a machine, it can be account, it can be password related, whatever keyword you might specify here, that will fine-tune your search. Same goes for the time filter. Past 30 minutes is the default one. You can in any moment change this or custom the time frame for which you need to check the logging. And the advanced filter, which is accessible from here, the safe filters always available, but directly I can go and open the builder, which will allow me to create on the fly the desired filter. That means that I can match for computer host name, device ID, IP address, logging type, or a combination of many parameters in order to specify what are the logs that I'm searching for right now. Not only this, but if I want to have an alert for a specified log, I can go to the log filter library and pick up one of the filters and set up alert for that precise filter and this severity level. So I can also apply a notification policy. That means if something happens, like a critical event or logging that is detected, I can set up an email notification policy. I can set up Microsoft Teams post or I can have a notification policy based on that criteria. And then automatically tell WhatsUp Go apply this to all the applicable sources. So that takes me to the point that I can automatically apply those filters to all the machines which are of my interest. Another way also to search through the logs is to use the alert center. So if we go to the alert center from here, we can use the log management filter, which is automatically accessible from here. So all log management will take me to see if there is an alert. It will be shown here and I can easily see it. And then again, here is also a log frequency alert. So that means that I can specify furthermore. And another way to do fast the search is, as you can see here, there are many type of filtering available to the general search. But if I hit the logs and I specify like HV just for naming a server and then open, you will see all the logs available here. So this will be fine-tuned furthermore, and I will specify again exactly the machine which I'm interested to see logging for, so I can directly access from here the log viewer. The log management is one of the functionalities that allows WhatsUp Go to not only monitor the entire network infrastructure, but also to be able to offer one single interface where to check the logs. Usually what happens is that there are different tooling used for that, but that means this is time consuming, or they are too complex, or they are too simple. So that means that, or we are ending up having too much information and we need too much time and effort to focus on what are the critical logs and events, or too simple, so we are missing critical information. WhatsUp Go in one single interface has the log management available, so that while you are monitoring the entire infrastructure, if you need to search through the logs, that's easily accessible, filtering available right away from the map to the device view to the dedicated log management dashboards, together with the filter building and together with the alerting part, which is part of the WhatsUp Go Alert Center. So that's one of the best things that we can offer with WhatsUp Go is one single interface for the monitoring and for all the network parameters that are part of the day-to-day network admin job. That was for today's WhatsUp Go log management presentation. I am leaving the floor to Greg and some time for questions and comments. Thank you all.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that presentation, Ekaterina. I hope it was very beneficial for everyone in attendance today. So now what we're going to do, we're going to move into our Q&A section with Theodore. So if you have any questions, please include them in the question box now, and I'm going to hand it over to Theodore to answer the initial questions that came through.
All right, everyone. My name is Theodore Herrera. I'll be covering the Q&A session. If you have any questions, please put them in. I do see a couple questions already in the queue. I'm going to start going through them here and there. So first off, I do see one that is asking, is it possible to get a trial WhatsUp Gold? WhatsUp Gold with log management? or just the feature itself. Yes, you can get one of those usually by going through your account rep. You can get an evaluation of either just log management itself, or you can get access to an evaluation license by signing up for one to also get a full What's Up Gold with all of our functionality as well, config management, NTAs, everything inside there, along with the log management as well. I do see another question that came in as well of, is there a guide for installing Elasticsearch? Um, I'm one of the creators of the guide that we have. It's inside our community. It's an article. It's a living article, I would say. It walks you through installing a default instance of Elasticsearch, goes over some information of the rights levels, and if you need to do advanced steps, it does cover a link to advanced documentation from Elasticsearch themselves. Elasticsearch can be a little bit of a resources. It's always recommended to look at our What's Up Gold documentation as well of our recommendation for an Elasticsearch instance and the amount of resources you do need. All right. Give me a moment here. Let's see, I got a couple other ones coming in. I do see one asking if you already have a What's Up Gold, can it be installed later? Basically, if Elasticsearch was not installed with the installation, can it be added post installation? Yes, it actually can. You can have a What's Up Gold instance or a license with Elasticsearch, and you can just install the Elasticsearch instance and then run the What's Up Gold installer like a repair, and then add the log management functionality later on. It doesn't necessarily have to be at the first time you install your license. It can be added on. So if you have it and you have not utilized it yet, it can be added in a later point. All right, giving a couple more here. Can you create custom ingestion filters? I do see that you can't, well, correction. Custom ingestion filters, currently something that is in the works. I've tested the functionality. It is going to be released in a upcoming major release. You will be able to narrow down any type of data through ingestion. So if you only want to collect, let's say, failed audits, you will be able to do that in the future. That is functionality has been tested. I've tested it. It'll be added in, like I said, in a future release. Custom ingestion, custom filters for auditing failed logins, or you might want to narrow down the scope on a custom filter for your critical events or very particular critical events for certain types of facility levels of your routers and switches. Those will be added in the future. We currently have a informational criticals warnings, so forth. We have more of a blanket kind of configuration at this given moment, but it is something that is relatively soon will be coming out. Relatively soon. All right. Anything else? Let's see. I see one as well of does log management require a separate server to be installed? Yes, I would always recommend putting What's Up Gold, Elasticsearch on a separate server due to resources of the two applications. Elasticsearch itself, a full instance of Elasticsearch, is going to require half the memory of the system as like a staging area for logs, and then uses the CPU to process the data. So you always want to have an Elasticsearch on a separate server by itself. So if you put 16 gigs on it, it's going to require half that, 8 gigs of it, to be the heap for the actual application, and then the CPU does all the writing capability. It's the processor processing of those logs as quick as possible to push it into the Elasticsearch instance. So you should always put it on a separate server, so What's Up Gold and Elasticsearch are not fighting for resources. All right. I don't see anything else coming through. Like I said, if you have any questions, I'm here. Just let me know. Let's see here. No, currently, looks like I answered everything at the current moment. Let's see. Give it a couple more minutes here to see if anybody has anything else. Like I said, if you have anything else, you can either put a question in or the chat. I don't mind at this moment. All right. Now, just kind of giving more information, Elasticsearch with WhatsUp Gold for log management, you can fairly collect a large amount of data. I've tested up to easily up to about 300,000 or more events or syslogs, correction, syslogs per minute easily. It can ingest quite a bit. It's all about resources. If you have the resources to keep up with the data, you can ingest quite a bit. So, and we do have our agents as well that help offset the central collector to the agents for Windows-based servers to make it easier to collect from there. So you're not heavily required leaning on WMI to make it a little bit easier in the long run. All right. All right. All right, everyone. If there's nothing else, one of the questions coming in, I think we're good to go here. This meeting was recorded. Of course, you can always reference back into it. And then I'll go ahead and if I don't see anything else coming in, I'll go ahead and hand it back over to Greg.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Theodore. Yeah, so as Theodore mentioned, he answered all the questions there. I just want to say thanks again to everybody for attending and looking forward to see you all on the next webinar. Have a nice day.